she threw the acid on me and just ran away before I could even open my, like, I'm not waiting, like, like, my face is burning. I swore there was holes in my face. Like, this is not her first offense. Like, she has other victims like me as well that
acid,
and they never caught her. And like, I didn't deserve that. I had to remove the rest of the nostril, but when I woke up, it was completely gone.
This is going to be as chill and natural as possible, and I'm so honored to have this guest today. You guys have no idea. Like, this is the first and probably the most special episode on my channel, and we have Juanita.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. But yes, my name is Juanita. I'm very honored to be here, honestly.
Thank you.
This is such a fun experience already so far.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited to have you. And again, when I saw your story on TikTok, I was like, it's been months. Like, it's been forever. But I was like, oh my goodness, I really want her on this show. But it's such, like, a tough experience. And I personally, if I went through what you went through, I know, I just know I wouldn't be as strong as you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
For you to even be here and for you to just be the way you are and who you are is just like mind-blowing. And I just can't wait to dive in. So Juanita, tell us about yourself.
So my name is Juanita Jimenez. I'm in school currently. I dealt with a traumatic experience that has kind of gave me a voice on TikTok enough to explain, like, where I am in life and how I was able to deal with my traumas and things of that nature. I mean, born and raised in Harlem, New York, but then I had moved to the Bronx for like college. Then I moved to Brooklyn, like, to kind of live by myself and stuff, give myself the opportunity and space to just venture out, see what I wanted to do. And so those are the main things that I do. I'm still in school. I plan to graduate in May, though. My majors are like anthropology, biology, and chemistry, and so I'm excited to get that out the way. Finally, get that degree.
It's your last year?
Yeah, it's my last year.
That's so exciting. Can you tell us a bit about your experience? What happened?
Yeah, so basically I was on my way to work, regular day, going to the hospital. I worked at Kings County at the time, like Kings County Hospital. And so when I was on my way there, then like this was the first day that I had moved to my Brooklyn apartment, so I didn't completely know the commute correctly and stuff. And so coincidentally, I'm all the way on the whole opposite side of like the platform. So like, how the platforms is usually very long. So basically when I had gotten off, she had gotten off right behind me, so I already knew just something was weird. I had a gut feeling. Even when we were in the like on the train together, we were only on the train together for I believe like one stop, and during that she's arguing with some random guy and stuff. So I'm already saying to myself like, I'm gonna get off next stop.
She was arguing on the subway.
The train with somebody, some random guy, but he wasn't paying her any mind. Like, he wasn't arguing back with her. Like, how people just be yelling, like literally, you literally say to yourself like, I'm just gonna get off next stop, mind my business. Exactly what I said. So I had gotten off the next stop, but I'm the only female that had gotten off. Honestly, I'm the only person that gotten off, really. Like, so I had gotten off the next stop. She got off right behind me. Doors closed quicker than daylight savings. Like, and next thing you know, I'm walking down the platform.
Where was this?
This was in Winthrop Station. So this was in the train station, like on one side of the platform.
And that's like in Brooklyn?
Yeah, it's on in Brooklyn. Yeah. It's on like the 2-3 lines. So. And so and it's the same stop of Kings County Hospital. Yeah, like
I take that line.
Really? Yeah, it's so many people that was saying that in my TikTok. Like, they're like, oh my god, like they was hoping that she did get caught and stuff. So when I had we walking down the whole platform or whatever, and I'm just being aware of my surroundings. I'm not like like interrogating her or anything like that. I'm not speaking to her or anything like that. But I did discreetly take a video. She didn't know I took a video. I acted like I was on the phone.
Why did you take a video?
Because I had a gut feeling that just something was gonna. I had a gut feeling that just something was gonna go wrong. I'm like, like something just don't feel right. Like, she literally followed me off this train. It didn't seem like she was supposed to be getting off this stop anyway. And so it just seemed weird. And I was the only one in that train station. So I'm like, like, God forbid anything happens, I do need a video. Like,
what time was it?
This was at 1 o'clock in the morning around that time. Yeah, because I work a night shift. Yes.
Scary time to be on the subway.
That's another reason why I took that video, because I'm like, yeah, no, like, God, if anything happens.
The subway is a horror show.
Yes, like, but, literally.
Yeah.
So it's so dangerous, but it's so annoying because it's like you got to get to where you're going, you know, and so that's the annoying part. And then especially just going to the hospital and stuff. So thankfully I was 2 blocks away from it though. And as soon as like we had gotten to basically like the top of the stairs, like of the train station, she threw the acid on me and just ran away before I could even open my like eyes. Like, yeah, I was gagged. I was like I didn't even know what to say, because I'm just like, what? Like, I already, like, before I came open my eyes, I hear the footsteps running away, like, for dear life. And I'm just like, so what?
So what happened in that moment? So she threw the acid on you
and ran,
and then you like froze in that moment.
Like, I just honestly started screaming because it felt like it was excruciating pain, like immediately. Like, I had my mask on and it still touched my face immediately, like, because it was holes in my mask, holes in my scarf, holes in my like coat and everything. What? So yeah, so I was
can you like describe the pain, like?
So when I described it to the hospital and stuff, like on a scale of 1 to 10, like I definitely told them like 1200. Like, I'm like, it was like very painful. I genuinely thought my face was like falling off. Like, before I seen the mirror, like I swore there was holes in my face, like literally.
So like, what happened after that? So did you? Because I'm trying to picture it. So you were right there. She threw acid on your face. It was painful.
Yeah.
You were probably like panicking.
Yeah, like,
right there, and there was no one around.
Yeah, there was nobody around because it was like
the police wasn't around.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, not it wasn't even a worker in the train station. Like, that's literally crazy. Yeah, it was nobody. And I even say that, like, I even was saying that if there was like a worker in the train station, I absolutely would have went over there, act like I was buying another card or something, you know, the Metro cards and stuff. Like, I would have did that, because it's like, if I know someone's following me and then there's somebody that works here, that's common sense. You would do that. But there was nobody there, like nobody. Gosh. And so when as soon as it happened, I just froze. I started, like, I just was screaming because it just hurt. And I'm like now I'm just getting into medical mode. So now I'm like, okay, let me take off my scarf, take off everything that's been like affected with, because at the point I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was like unknown substance protocol. It's like something that you follow in the medical field if like something gets thrown on you or something and it burns. And so I just literally was throwing everything off and stuff, taking off my scarf, mask, my coat and everything, and I'm like running to the hospital. I did see like 2 men, but they were like putting gas in their like cars and stuff, and they were trying to like ask like what happened, but I'm just like, yeah, like, you know, just be careful, someone has acid and they're throwing it and stuff. But there wasn't really much they could do because they're at a gas station. The actual store's closed. You know, they just have gas. So like, and I was about like two blocks from the hospital anyway. So once I got there, then that's when they gave me all of this stuff. And yeah, I mean, they gave me like it was an issue because they was like, they thought that I was working because I had my like
scrubs?
Yeah, my scrubs on, so they thought I was working.
So like what happened? So you got to the hospital. What's the first thing you did?
I'm telling them, I'm like, hi, like, you know, I like my face is burning. I don't know what's on my face. Like, I just need some type of help and stuff like that. And basically the front desk lady, she was like, okay, give me a second. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I cannot. Yes, I swear. Like, and
was it like, not visible?
It was still like just light. It kind of like you didn't know what it was on my face, but it wasn't like blistering. It just was like kind of clear. It was like a clear substance on my face, but you could vividly see something's been thrown on my face. Like, it just didn't really have an effect at that point. So I'm telling her, I'm like, yeah, ma'am, I'm not waiting. Like, my face is in excruciating pain. I don't know what somebody just threw on me. Like the longer we wait, the more damage it's probably gonna cause and stuff. She still was kind of trying to have me wait, so I just walked my behind to the back because I'm like, I got the scrubs on anyway. I know where I'm going. Like, walk to the back, and then I'm like cleaning off my face, trying to like rinse it off and stuff.
With water?
Yeah, with water. And even that like burned too, and I wasn't sure why, but now knowing that it's an acid, that's why, because acids and waters don't really go too well together and stuff. So it burned even more. And then they had the doctor evaluate me. He thought it was bleach.
After how long?
they took about like an hour and 30 minutes for the doctor to evaluate me, but then they didn't assign me a nurse for like to give me medication until like 4 hours. Like,
that's crazy.
Very, like, I was in so much pain, like, and
so
I'm telling
you were
them
basically in the waiting room for an hour and a half.
Basically, well, I was in the seat, and that's what I didn't understand. I was like taken to the back where the rest of the emergency cases are, but I didn't have a nurse assigned to my chart, and so they every time I would ask for medication, they're like, "Oh, you need to wait for a nurse." I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" Like literally, I'm like, "Y'all, like, do y'all not understand? Like, I have like whatever it is at the point I thought it was like poison or something. But I'm like, I have something on my face, like, and it's burning, like, and it's excruciating pain, like." And then when they finally did assign me a nurse, then they realized, like, oh, we don't have the tools necessary for a burn, so we're going to send you to, literally, they're going to send me to the burn ICU in Jacoby. So 4 hours there.
You waited an hour and a half for
the doctor.
Then you waited 4 hours and a half for the nurse. That's 5 hours and a half.
Yeah, literally.
For them to tell you have to be transferred somewhere else.
Exactly. Like, literally, that's exactly what happened.
Okay, so then you were transferred somewhere else.
To Jacoby.
And then what happened? And then
yeah, go ahead.
Like, at that point, how do you feel? Like, how does your face feel?
Yeah, my face was still in pain. They finally, even though they gave me the medication and stuff, it still was painful and stuff. It just was like, it wasn't too bothersome as much as it was at like when it first occurred and stuff. But when I got to Jacoby, I felt kind of relieved, because it's like I just already felt like I was in the best of hands compared to when I was at like Winthrop, because when I was in Winthrop Hospital, they just wasn't accommodating anything. And soon as I got to Jacoby, I saw about like 6 doctors, like whether they were students or like surgeons or whatever. They just all really came to help and see if there was anything they could do. They were trying to even rub it off with like saline water and like gauze pads and stuff. And even though that didn't work too well, they still, like, it's the fact that they tried, you know, like, so I appreciated that.
So no, you got to the hospital, they took care of you right away, and you were put in a room.
I was put in a room. First I was just in the emergency thing for like I want to say like maybe 5 hours, and then they transferred me to a specific room in the burn ICU. So yeah, and then when I was there, that was when it was a lot more calm, because I had my stuff, my mom came, my family came, and all of that. So I appreciated that.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 7 days, like 7 in the ICU. And for those 7 days, it was definitely like overwhelming, and I had a lot of mixed emotions, like you know, and of course I was like, you know, depressed too, because it just, the question of like, why me, like that was just going through my mind 1,000 times, like, so yeah.
And did you know the girl?
I never knew her. Even to this day, I still don't know her. Like, I don't know a thing about her. I couldn't even tell you her favorite color, middle name. Crazy. Yeah, like, literally don't know anything about this young lady. And she doesn't know anything about me. Like,
that's insane. That's so evil.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you were in the hospital for 7 days. So what was happening? Were you getting, like, surgeries, procedures? Like, what were they doing?
So the first days when I was there, they were like that, they saw that it was starting to peel, so they were like, they just gonna let it peel and stuff for the first like 3 days. Then after that, then on the 3rd day, that's when they realized that it mostly peeled from the top layer, the epidermis, but then that's when they wanted to kind of remove the other layers. And so they just did something called like a debridement, where they like literally cut like my face like off, like the top skin. I know, like, literally. Even while I'm literally looking at them, I was telling my mom and all, like, I was awake for this, like, what? So, but they, like, surprisingly, like, it didn't hurt as bad as you would think, like, because the skin was damaged anyway. So it was like, but it definitely did hurt a little bit, like, I felt it. And then so they did that about 3 times before I had left.
3 times?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like 3 times before I had left. Then how
did it look?
It looked like I could actually send you pictures too and stuff like that. But
was it like bloody?
Oh yeah, when they took it off, it was definitely like bloody in the patches that they took it off at. But before that, it kind of like, it just was like a hard kind of feeling. Like, even I can remember, like, I just can't describe it right, but it was like, yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, but it's it was just a thick like very thick type of feeling of like skin there, so they had to cut it over. Honestly, it didn't seem like it wasn't gonna do anything, and they said that it might like heal over and over and come thicker. So
so throughout those 7 days, obviously you mentioned it was depressing. Was your family there the entire time?
They wasn't able to stay in the nighttime, unfortunately, but they were there every day. Like, then they would switch out too and stuff like that. So I appreciated that. There was a risk of like they couldn't come. It couldn't be too many of them at once because like being that it's the burnt ICU, apparently like everybody's bacteria could like cause an infection. So they like it had to be 2 people at a time, but they would still be trying their best to be in there all at the same time.
That's so cute. Honestly, I'm so glad you had a support system.
Yes, me too. Honestly, they are amazing.
And like who was present? Like your mom?
It's definitely my mom and my sister. Like, and I have a little brother as well, but my mom and sister are like the most. They've been there like since day one and stuff like that. And they're like my best friends too. We've been best friends even before the situation, so it broke them like just as much as it broke me.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah, literally.
Like, how did your family deal with this?
So it was overwhelming for everybody. Like I feel like
wait, hold on, sorry. Like,
no, it's okay.
So when you got to the hospital, did you contact them before?
Yeah, I contacted my mom. So my mom was my first call, and then my ex-boyfriend, he was my second. So
how did you sound?
I honestly, like, when I called my mom, I was definitely crying. Like I called her as soon as I got to the hospital. So like soon as I'm telling them and they're trying, and like when the front desk lady had told me like to wait a second, I'm calling my mom immediately. And I'm like, and so all my mom hears me saying is like, no, like I'm not waiting, like, like my face is burning, please take me to the back. And so she's like mind you, I was appalled because my mom usually never answers my phone. Like I call her and she always has to call me back, but this one time and she said that literally she said that. She said I just knew, like it was like you don't call me at 1 o'clock in the morning. So she just knew. And I'm like, oh, like, so as soon as I called her, I'm frantic, I'm crying and stuff, and then she just starts crying, but she's already on her way. I see her getting dressed immediately. So I appreciated that. I didn't personally call anybody else from my family because I just knew it would be like they would be crying on the phone. It would be more of me consoling them. So I kind of had my mom handle that. I'm like, Mom, please just tell everybody. Like, I'll see them when they get here. Like, but then when it came to my ex-boyfriend, like we were I had called him around like 3 a.m. like when we was already at, well, no, it wasn't around 3 a.m. because we was at Jacoby. So when we got transferred to Jacoby, that was when I had called him. And I was more calm though because I'm like I have my medication and stuff, and I didn't want him to see me crying. So I'm just like, literally, I'm like, hey, and he's like, what are you calling me at this time? Where I'm like, so I was assaulted with acid. He was like, Juanita, what? Like, and then he just got up. He was so frantic. He's even yelling at his mom. I'm like, oh my God. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what about your siblings?
My siblings, my sister, she was definitely crying too. She was overwhelmed and stuff. And she felt like, even to this day, she felt like she kind of feels it. Like, she kind of felt like heartbroken that she didn't answer my call when I had gotten to when I was in the hospital as well, because she feels like she could have helped me with like driving me to Jacoby or anything like that. But I told her like that's not like, don't worry about that, like it's not like Jacoby would have took a long time. I mean, Kings County would have took a long time anyway, so it's not her fault and stuff.
So she felt guilty.
Yeah, she felt guilty in a way, and because she's my older sister, so she's very protective and stuff. So she just felt guilty for not like answering my call when I got to the hospital, because then she could have helped me faster. But I'm like, yeah, no, it's okay. Like,
wow.
But yeah, it did break a lot of my family, even like my dad too. Like him, me and him were on the best terms prior to the like assault, and so when it had happened, he like felt a certain way that he wasn't one of my first calls, and I told him like realistically not everything is about you, like it's literally about me right now, literally. So we got, but ever since then we've been on way better terms. Like I communicated my issues and he communicated his. We even had a really deep talk when we were in the ICU, and so
this kind of like helped with the bond.
It did, a lot, like definitely a lot, because we both are very like, we always bump heads prior to this, even to this day I'm sure, like, but before the assault we always bumped heads about like who like I don't need him, he don't need me, and like ever since the situation it kind of showed like we both don't need each other, but it would be nice to have each other in each other's lives. So
I'm not gonna call this a blessing in disguise.
No, but I feel like,
but I'm so glad there's like a positive
aspect
aspect,
yeah,
honestly. So what happened when you left the hospital?
When I left the hospital, the day of was actually my sister's birthday. We were supposed to be like on a trip to Puerto Rico, and so instead we just kind of celebrated her birthday. We went to my house and we like my mom cooked tacos and we just had a grand old time. We was all watching shows and stuff like that. Yeah, before I had left, I did have to speak with my therapist so that they could clear me from the hospital and stuff. And when I spoke with him, like, he did ask me, like, how did I feel about, like, going outside, especially because at the time she wasn't, like, arrested yet. So,
wait, what?
Yeah, she still wasn't.
So, 7 days in the hospital, and the criminal is still out there.
Out there, yes.
And you have to leave the hospital while she's like roaming out there, just chilling.
Yes, like
that's insane.
It was, and that's what I was very annoyed at too, because I'm like, oh, like, this is, and I didn't think about it like that until my therapist brought it up, but it was overwhelming a little bit, because I'm like, dang, like, I didn't even realize that. Then I'm going back to the same house that's on the paperwork of all of these, like, you know, exactly. So it just made me feel so uncomfortable. That was another reason why I had moved from Brooklyn altogether. I just didn't feel safe there, like, and I don't know anybody there. Like, literally, I've been living in Harlem all 21 years of my life, never experienced anything like that. And then literally the day I moved to Brooklyn, so it just wasn't for me. I couldn't stand living there and stuff. But yeah, it took a month for her to get arrested.
That's insane. Why did it take so long? Because you had videos, right?
Yeah, exactly. I had literal videos of this girl. Like, they could see her face. She had prior offenses and all of that. So it's like I didn't understand why they couldn't find her. But they basically because she somehow, some way traveled to Atlanta. She had somebody that she know drive her all the way to Atlanta, and she stayed out there with her brother. He took care of her and stuff like that. And then that's when they barged through there, and they had to ping her phone. She had her phone in her pocket. Like,
that's crazy.
It is, like, and so that's why it took them a very long time, because even like Atlanta police, basically, like, they was the ones that was taking long. That's what NYPD was telling me and stuff. So they had to like call them and tell them, like, arrest her, like, she's there and stuff. So I'm just like, but yeah, thankfully they got her
a month later.
Exactly.
So what happens when, because you left the hospital a week later, you got home, what happens in your mind when you're home knowing that this criminal is out there?
Yeah, honestly, it made me feel like very uneasy, because it's like, you know, at any point she could definitely just look up my address. Like, my name is literally attached to my address now, like, and especially with all of this going on, she could look at the court documents, her family could look at it, like, you know what I'm saying? So it could be anything. Like, they could have came to my house, or it could have been like anything. Like, even that's why, like, I didn't travel for the first 8 months. Like, I didn't leave my home for the first 8 months after the assault. Yeah, because it just made me feel. You didn't leave your
house
at all? Well, I left if I would need to go to the store, like, which is at the corner. But other than that, I was nowhere. Like, I was not going to no events, no family functions, nothing. Like, absolutely not. I wasn't even going to class if it had to be in person. Like, I would definitely do it online only at the time. Yeah. So,
like, what happens when they find her? She's in jail. Did you have to like testify?
That's actually, like, I eventually have to testify.
Okay, so when she, because I'm thinking they arrest her.
Yeah. And they had to bring her back to New York, because she was arrested in Atlanta, and then they extradited her back to New York to be arrested. And then, so ever since she was there, she'd been trying to basically do certain things. Like, they gave her a plea deal of like 10 years minimum, and so, but she still tried to say, like, she's not guilty, because she's trying to go down the route of, like, proving that she has a mental disability.
Oh, right. My God.
Exactly.
Oh, like, my goodness.
I'm just like, girl, like, but you had sense to not only walk around with acid, but, like, prior to not even knowing me, to even know you was going to encounter me. Then you also had enough sense to travel all the way to Atlanta when things got crazy. Like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, like, and then you mentioned she did commit other crimes.
Yeah, before. Exactly. Literally, like, this is not her first offense. Like, she has other victims like me as well that
acid.
Acid, and they never caught her. Like, literally.
This is insane.
Like, and along from that, even the report with the New York Post that had came out about it as well, even I found that she has other offenses with even, like, her baby father. Like, she, like, domestic violence, like, her against her baby father. Like, she was like did something to hurt him and stuff like that. And it's like, this is a well-known, like, not
it's a well-known criminal,
yes,
just
exactly, like, and she knows what she's doing.
What?
Like, she can't be, like, they can't be serious with this. So
that's really insane. That it's like a well-known criminal just like roaming out there for stuff.
Literally, it's
taking
insane.
a whole month to find this person. Not
when she's caught on video.
When she's caught on video,
like,
not guaranteeing your safety. Like, I feel like you should have had some kind of like guarantee you'd be safe.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, and there was nothing.
No,
like,
that's just insane. Okay, so they arrest her. She's in jail. It takes you 8 months to leave the house. So what's happening in those 8 months?
In those 8 months, I was honestly just trying to find like coping mechanisms. I was going to therapy and stuff like that. I mean, I'm still in therapy currently too. So I had therapy very frequently, and so what we would talk about would just be like things to do. So I started to open my like tattoo business because I just felt like that would be kind of helpful and stuff. And along with like doing actual tattoos, but also like just drawing out the stencils, it just kind of took off time from thinking about the assault in general. Also going to class too was very helpful because it also took my mind off of it, even though I hate going, like, everybody hates doing actual work and stuff, but it's definitely a like time consumer. But I wasn't going to work though. It just, that was one thing I just couldn't do because everywhere I go, people are asking me like, what happened to you? Oh my God, like, was that like, were you born like that, or was it like a car crash, or did your boyfriend do that to you? Like, it's so many repetitive questions that it's like,
I can imagine. That's so annoying.
It's very annoying. It's like people are so entitled to their own things, and it's like, y'all gotta understand, like, people go through stuff, like, my trauma is attached to the story, not me, like, at all. And so it's like, that's they amazing. Shouldn't like, they keep asking questions, but I had to build courage to kind of be able to tell people like, I'm not comfortable talking about that, like, especially if it's something so random, like I'm out getting drunk on a Tuesday night with my cousins. You think I want to talk about me being like assaulted with acid? So I say it just like that. Like, I don't, like, we're in the club right now, I would rather not speak about this. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, and it's like, wow, I can't imagine.
So how did you cope in those 8 months?
I would say just my family, like, they would come all the time. Like
what was your routine like?
My routine? Oh, that's a good question.
Because I'm thinking, if this happens to me, I have PTSD. I have nightmares about this person every single day.
No, I feel you. I would say nightmares wasn't, I didn't have too many nightmares of it, but I did definitely have PTSD. Like, PTSD for me had looked like people could be walking on the street and having their hands in their pockets, or somebody down the block screaming, and like, it just all kind of made my stomach turn. Those are my triggers and stuff like that. And so that's another reason why I wasn't really going outside too much. So my routine would be more so like, I would just wake up, have to clean my face. I had to clean my face like 3 times a day too. So I would kind of like try to like just it would be, I was actually getting into cooking too. I was trying to like get into like, learning to make new things as well, like, because that's also like time consuming. Then I would be drawing most of the day, doing classes most of the day. Also my roommate at the time, I had my roommate who's also my lash tech, and like me and her would be talking a lot too and stuff, and she was very much a big help as well, because she would always check in with me in between her clients and things like that. I just I felt like I just wasn't really alone, because there was always somebody in my family that was there for me, so I appreciated that. That's so nice. I feel like when things happen to us, we isolate, and then the depression just gets like all over the place, heavier and heavier, until it's like people harm themselves. And that's the narrative I'm trying to change, because it's like, I feel like the issue with like the public is that they kind of force people who's dealt with trauma, they kind of force us to just deal with your trauma, be sad about it, and then they kind of get mad that we are sad about it. So it's like, that's why it's like, I'm trying to change it to, it's like, you don't have to be stuck in the room crunched in the bowl all the time and stuff like that. You can go out, get drinks, go out, live your life. Like it, like I said, like I always say, we're so much bigger than our traumas. Like my story is not gonna be, like I got acid on my face everywhere I go. Like, it's not gonna be that. So it's like, I'm trying to change that up. But when it came to depression, like realistically, it is hard to get up out that bed, but it's definitely like, I gotta just put one foot in front of the other, and I allow myself to cry, I allow myself to be depressed in the moment. Like, I really do allow myself to just like deal with my emotions, because like they say, the only way through is forward. I mean, only way forward is through. So I feel like it's the same thing with your emotions. So
no, that's amazing.
Thank
honestly.
you.
Just to have that support system, being able to just go through the motion and not try to like get away from it.
The carpet.
So that's I mean, you have to be strong. You have to be, honestly, you have to be strong to go through that. Because I feel like even though it's not something that defines you, you still have to like mourn, I guess, the person you were before the experience.
Yes, and that's a perfect way to put it, because literally I feel like that was one of the main struggles. Like, I felt like, I mean, and of course, like, I still feel like I am pretty, but it was like before the assault, like that change was dramatic, because it's like literally in one day I just wake up and now my face is just like, it's a whole scar across my face. So it's like dealing with that was very uneasy and stuff. And anybody who knows me prior to the assault, like, they know, like, I wasn't big on makeup. I'm not big on a lot of things because I just don't know how to do it. Like, I'm not against makeup, I'm not against anything like that. It's just I don't know how to do it. So I always
you have great skin.
Thank you. And that was another thing. I always paid attention to my skin and all of that. So it's like that was like I'm over here worried about pimples for me to wake up with a whole scar across my face. I'm like, okay, like,
that puts so much into perspective. Because honestly, when I have pimples, I'm like dying. Like, I don't want to leave my house.
So imagine,
wow,
literally.
So how did your perspective of your own beauty or identity change, like physically?
Yeah, I would say honestly, it took a lot this is one of the things that I feel like I had to learn about myself too, because like before the assault, like I always felt like I'm like unstoppable when it came to anything, and even like my beauty in general, like I was never like completely insecure about how I looked, because I just felt like my main thing too, I would tell people, like, if you feel like you're on like you're thick or something like that and you want to be skinnier, there's people who are skinny who want to look like you. Same thing vice versa. If you feel like you're skinny, there are people who's thicker who want to look like you. So it's like, be happy where you're at, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I always felt before. Then after the situation, it's like I don't know how that would apply to me, because especially being at like, this is my face, like, so it's like, but then after time, like, even the people around me, like my friends, my family and stuff like that, like, they will also just try to make me feel like it's like it's a pretty scar. Like, even one of my best friend, he told me it looked like it's a tree, like yeah, and he knows I'm a very natural person, so I love that. Like, so it's like even them helping is definitely like puts a lot into perspective. And then for myself, I just kind of had to like just kind of like I don't even know, like, because some days are still hard, like to kind of remind myself that I am like, like pretty and stuff like that, which I do feel like I am pretty, but it's just different from before, like when I could just like, it's just regular, like, and now it's like I kind of have to do the convincing, so that's the annoying issue. And so, but yeah, I feel like it changed a lot though, because I thought that like people would treat me differently because of the scar, even when it came to relationships and stuff like that, but it really wasn't a difference. Like, I'll be completely honest saying that, like, it wasn't like it wasn't not one guy that like spoke with me previously that was like, oh yeah, like, I'll never mess with you again because you have a scar. Like, it was never anything like that. So I do
that's
appreciate
amazing
that. Yeah, literally, because people are crazy.
No, because with the men people are dealing with,
yes, like
some of them are like so rude and just like
literally insane. Yeah, and I swore it was gonna be somebody, but no, like, honestly, everybody's been so sweet. When I had posted that I was the one that went through that, everybody on my Instagram, like, probably all 2,000 followers that's there have reached out, like, and that's what also actually helped me with like my confidence, because I felt like everybody reaching out talking about, oh, you didn't deserve this, like, oh my god, like, I'm literally crying watching this right now and stuff. It kind of made me feel like, damn, like, so okay, it's not just me, I'm not bugging, like, I didn't deserve that. Like, everybody who knows me personally and who don't, people who just know me from Instagram, they just know, like, I'm a very lighthearted person. I answer everybody. Like, people could ask me about anything on Instagram. They could ask me about like something like about their own hygiene, like some like, private, or even something about like traveling, something about medical, something about getting a license, and I'm an answer. Like, I'm always going to be transparent about my progress, give a whole paragraph. So it's like, when people did reach out to me about that, I was really appreciative, so that helped me with my confidence a lot.
Yeah. Well, you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
literally, even when I like saw you, I was like, how? Because I've seen people with like scars. And you look like you've had 100 procedures.
Thank you.
Like, so
Yeah.
you look really good. Honestly,
I appreciate that.
Because I feel like it takes some people so
Yeah.
many more procedures
literally. Even
yeah.
I'm thankful that I didn't lose my eyesight, because it's a lot of situations like that. Like, it's so many like acid patients that had to deal with that too, and like I feel for them 1,002%, because that's something that is a whole different like thing. Even to this day, I think about that. Like, God forbid I lost even one eye, it would be completely different. Completely different. Like, I don't think I would be able to be as positive all year round, but it would definitely be like, I would still try to push forward, absolutely, like do my best, but it would definitely be a lot harder. And that's why I try to be realistic, even when other like burn survivors reach out to me and stuff. Like, I definitely understand like that it's just hard, like, and I get that.
So how did your life change?
It changed a lot, like a lot. I would say like
how was your life before the assault,
and then like compared to now. So before the assault, I'm honestly like, I was so overwhelmed. Like, I was working at Kings County. I had just gotten that job nothing but like 2 months before the assault and stuff, because before that I was working at an urgent care. And so when I had gotten that job, I was so overwhelmed. It was nothing like they told me it was gonna be. Yeah, literally as usual. And so it was like basically like I was basically doing all of the nurse work, and I'm not a nurse. Like, I'm literally like a patient care associate. And so it just was so overwhelming. And then it was like when I had to encounter the nurses, I felt like they didn't really care about their patients. And so it just made my heart break. Like, and it was just so like heavy on my heart, because it kind of, and I remember this even now, like I go to photos and I see like I was so drained and exhausted, because it just was like very overwhelming that I felt like I was the only one who cared about my patients. And so it just was like annoying. Like, I'll come today and then tomorrow my patient is still dirty from yesterday when I cleaned them. Yeah, and it's like it's three people were supposed to clean this one patient throughout the day and stuff. So that used to be very like annoying and stuff. And so that broke me like every day. And I felt like I literally used to think like right before the assault, like, dang, like this is gonna change my character. I don't know if I'm gonna want to be in medical. And then one day, boom, that like the assault happened and stuff. So ever since then, I would say I finally was able to relax. Things have been very overwhelming when it comes to like paperwork and denial letters about like things that I know I should get and stuff like that. So that'd be very annoying. But other than that, like I feel like it was a big breather for me. I was able to calm down, focus on my studying, focus on tattoos, and just do what I like, what makes me a little bit more happy and stuff like that. And I couldn't sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I couldn't imagine doing like starting tattoos if I was still working or anything like that. So yeah.
So how were what kind of hobbies did you have before?
My freshman year of high school, like I was doing cheerleading and softball. But then after that, that's when I started doing like during COVID, that's when they canceled my softball season. And so I got like a bunch of like medical licenses, and ever since then I was just working doing that. But one of my main hobbies ever since then has been like traveling. Like I travel. Yeah, I love traveling. Like, and even after the assault, like even though it took me 8 months to leave my home, one of the first things I did when I finally was able to leave my home was book a trip. Yeah, I'm like, I need to get out of New York. Especially, I feel like that's very important for trauma victims. Like, get out of the place where you were brought trauma, because it just like every time I touch down in New York, I'm just like, oh, like I need to move or something.
Yeah, no, I feel you. So after the assault, after the 8 months, you're starting to like get back to a routine. Were you going to school?
I was going to school, but it was still online during that time. It took me until like in the fall semester that I just passed, like that's when I was able to finally do outside, like go to class outside and stuff like that. But during the summer I just did it online.
So how was that going back to school? Because I'm assuming the professors, the students would probably ask.
Yeah, and what's so crazy is that I would say it was very rare though, like in the like schools, which I love, like, and this is how it be grown people, because every time people ask me for no reason, it's always a grown person. But I feel like our generation, Gen Z in general, we're all understanding of mental health, understanding that people go through stuff. I don't think it was like one student in that school that even asked me a question if like I wasn't telling them. Yeah, like literally, like, but it'll be certain situations where like I know like people do want to ask, but they still don't, and I appreciate that because they're students, like, but teachers definitely would ask. So and it's like that's why I feel like it's the difference between ages and stuff. But my professors were very understanding.
But did you notify the school of the incident?
I did, but that was the thing, like being that I go to Lehman, like all of the other schools that I went to like through e-permit, they didn't like get that that thing. But when I told Lehman, they weren't that like helpful, honestly. When I first told them, I'm like, oh, is there any way I could take classes in like online that I would be taking in person technically? And they were like, yeah, no, like you're gonna have to wait until you're not disabled.
What?
Yes, I was literally like, oh, okay. Like this is insane.
Stop. What?
I was so over it.
What?
Yes, like
okay,
I'm
so
like,
you're gonna wait until you're not disabled,
and then that was my junior year, so I'm like, wait until I'm not disabled. Like I want my degree. Like,
but how is that a thing?
Exactly. And then it's like, how is that even fair? Like, especially the fact that like they are a so-called minority serving institution. It's like, like disability is also a minority kind of vibe too. So it's like, I don't know, like y'all should figure something out. So that's when I took my classes through e-permit, where I was taking them closer and stuff. But when I finally did go in person and even though I took it like closer than where Lehman is compared to me, it still was very overwhelming. Like I was still uneasy like the first day, like going there and stuff, because I had to travel, and it just was so nerve-wracking. And I did feel like everybody was gonna ask me. Like I felt like everybody, even whoever's next to me, they're gonna be like, hey, like, are you okay? Like what happened? And I was just gonna be like uneasy and stuff, but it wasn't too bad, thankfully. Everybody was pretty chill. And for the whole semester it was chill.
But how do you, because saying you have to wait until you're not disabled, it's kind of like putting a timeline on your like
even though
healing,
I'm still healing,
and it's like, like, because especially mental health, like it takes some people 20 years to heal from like childhood trauma.
Exactly.
So that's like minimizing your experience.
And it's unrealistic too. And I just felt like it was so like just unrealistic in general, because it's like y'all don't know what I'm going through, and I understand that it's so specific. Like it's like it's not something that's so general and common, like car crash or something like that. It's not something that happens to a lot of people where it's like in fine print, okay, if this happens to this student, then this is the thing, like the protocol you take. Mine is so specific, like assaulted with acid. It's like, what do we do?
It's you know what, honestly, personally, that's not an excuse.
It's not,
because it's still an assault. Acid is a weapon.
Yes, like,
and that should be
like all this
thing
needed.
Like legally, acid is a weapon. Like, how is it even? How can people just get it like that?
Like legally, no issue, no binding. Like that's literally insane. So, and it's very overwhelming, because it's like it kind of like makes me like puts me to blame. Like even though I'm the victim, because it's like y'all might as well just say like, oh, why you didn't have acid too? Like literally, seriously. Like, and it's like I'm literally a healthcare worker. Like I'm supposed to be going to go save lives and stuff like that on a common daily basis. Like, and this is how healthcare workers get treated. 2 seconds ago we were the heroes of the whole world and all of that, and then as soon as it comes to situations like this, healthcare workers get thrown under the bus all the time. Even when I spoke with the policemen too or whatever, in the hospital, they definitely said there was a rise of a lot of like healthcare workers getting assaulted. Like if you wear your scrubs, then it's like you get assaulted, and I don't understand the correlation between that. Yeah, literally.
That's crazy. Okay, so it's just insane. First off, that acid is a weapon, but it's not like recognized federally, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not even recognized in New York.
Yeah, literally.
I don't think it's recognized anywhere, which
like,
is crazy.
It is
like,
crazy.
It's like a crazy traumatic outcome.
Because especially we have laws against every other weapon in New York. Like you see how it's obviously like gun laws, and then we have even knife laws. You can't have a knife certain size and stuff like that. So if acid is so common in New York, and for years it's been like that,
and so
like,
easy to get, like,
so easy to get.
Who wakes up one morning and needs acid? Like, for what?
Exactly. Like it's not a house cleaning supply or nothing. Like literally,
that should be suspicious.
Yeah, literally, it really should, because people only use it for either situations like this or literally for the like dead bodies. Yeah, either way, it's like
I'm like this is so stupid, and I wonder who's liable. Did you contact? Who did you contact when this happened? Like the MTA?
Yeah. Wait. What do you mean? Like,
because obviously you reached out to the police, right? Was that when you were at the hospital?
Yeah, that was when I was like at the hospital though. So when I reached out, it was directly to them, the ones that was there.
So when you reached out, what happened? So the case was open to find this person, and then so there's a lawsuit.
Yeah, so there is a lawsuit and stuff against her, but she doesn't even have like any money or anything. Any assets and stuff like that. So that's the annoying part too. And then the MTA, they don't want to take authority either, because they because they basically are explaining like, if I wasn't in harm's way and then called them the first time and stuff, and then it still transpired, then that would be one way for me to like make the lawsuit. But being that like they had no idea about it and they don't basically have control over random people in the train stations, then there's nothing that they could do. But my thing is like, if this had happened in any other establishment, if this had happened here, like even at like or even at my school, if this had happened at Lehman College, I would be able to sue Lehman College for that. If this happened in the store, I could sue the store for that. If this happened anywhere, like I could sue the place that it's happening in. But why is that not the case for the MTA? Like, and it's like they basically were saying that they don't have a they don't have an obligation to keep their passengers safe. But it's like, yes, that's literally basically insane. The law they're using. That's insane. And it's like that really is insane, because it's like y'all sit here and up the price, y'all do all of this stuff saying that like, you know, y'all are gonna make it safe. There was no cameras in that station. If I didn't take my own video, thank God for my gut feeling. If I didn't take my own video, she would still be free walking either here or in Atlanta, throwing more acid on young ladies. And it's like, y'all don't want to take no authority for that, and that's insane, sick. Like, and it's like, might as well blame me for it, literally. So
that's crazy. So did you try to reach out to like attorneys?
I have, but the thing is like, everybody's so kind of scared to take on the case because the MTA is such a big giant of a corporation. And so like every time I speak with a lawyer, like they're like, yeah, like, you know, you do have a case, but you know, like, then they say, yeah, sorry, I can't represent you. Like, and it's like, okay, like,
you need a check.
I agree. Like,
I agree. Like, this is
like, and it's so overwhelming, because it's like and that's basically, I feel like one of the main things that kind of had a hindrance on my mental health, because it's like, even though I could get past the assault itself, like I don't get nothing out of it. And so like that's the annoying part, because it's like I didn't even do anything to get this to happen to me. Like, I'm literally minding my business,
like jump in front of buses to get checks,
like, and for me to be minding my business and this still happened is crazy. Even when I was still looking for a lawyer, I had saw on Instagram some random lady won like so much money because she sued Dunkin' Donuts for giving her like hot coffee or whatever, and it spilled on her lap. That she spilled it.
People sue for the stupidest stuff in this country
and get whatever they want. Like, and it's like, I don't understand how me being in that predicament doesn't justify anything. Like,
it's insane. And then, because I'm thinking, okay, you can't sue the MTA because they're a giant, and like everyone's scared of suing. So wouldn't the government be liable in this case? Because how are you allowing people to just purchase acid?
And that's my thing too. Like, and that's another issue that I'm trying to encounter, because it's like people go hand in hand when it comes to the MTA and the city. Like, and so they also scared of the city as well and stuff. So, and that's my thing. Like, I do need the city to at least be held accountable for either like the fact that people are always getting assaulted on the trains, like whether it's literal, like whether it's with a weapon, but also people are getting sexually assaulted on the trains, raped on the trains, like, and it's been happening for years, and there's nothing to stop it. Y'all didn't even have cameras in the train stations, on the trains, or nothing. Like, nothing. Like, people are dying on the trains from subway surfing, and there's still no way to like save lives or anything like that, but they quick to up the price. Like, so it's like, I do need to be held accountable at some point, some way, like, because literally, like I said, if I didn't have that video, she would be still running, and that's a main issue. If there was cameras, people would know not to do certain things.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
all y'all have cameras by is the turnstiles, so y'all can catch people from hopping.
It's crazy.
Like
I used to kind of criticize London for having they have like CCTVs everywhere, but now I'm like, this is necessary.
Yeah,
this is
literally.
That's why it's like so important. I've never felt, even though there's like knife crimes in London, but I still feel safe.
Yeah,
but like New York is like
you could be minding your business and not doing anything, and people are just insane. So yeah, I agree, and that's why I still travel, because it's like, you see, like in other places, like you have to have the issue with the person to encounter these issues. Like it's not like, most of the times the acid attacks that happen in the UK too are like by like in domestically, basically, like it'll be in the family and stuff like that. My family is not throwing acid on my face, like, thank God, like not in New York, that's not happening. So it's like, but of course somebody I've never met prior to that moment like would in New York, and that's why it's like I can't be here. Like it's annoying, because imagine that for my PTSD, anywhere I go, it's like people don't have to do anything, and it still makes my stomach churn, because it's like people are capable of so much from doing so little, and that's so scary. So
that's scary. So there's a case going on. This person's in jail. And you said they're appealing?
Yeah, they're trying to appeal it, and even though it's only 10 years minimum, they're trying to appeal that like plea deal and stuff, and trying to basically say that, you know, they have mental incapabilities, like, and it's like, I literally deal with mental incapable patients, and you're not. Literally.
But also you deal with your own like
mental things,
health,
and it's like in 10 years, and that's what's also the slap in the face. It's her not even trying to take minimum 10 years and stuff. She's trying to get less than that, and it's like, even with those 10 years, you could get off for good behavior. Even with those 10 years, I'll still be doing surgery. In those 10 years, I'll still be suffering from PTSD. Like, it's just
such a short amount of time.
It is. Drug dealers get longer than that.
Yeah, no, that's a short amount of time. She should be in there for way longer than that. If not, then she should definitely be like in a hospital. Or like,
getting the help she needs. Yeah, literally.
Should not be out.
Literally, I agree.
That's crazy. So, how much did it? Because you mentioned like you've had a few procedures. Like how many?
It ranges. Like I definitely had more than 10. I just don't know exactly
10
how many.
surgeries or
just procedures in general. Yeah, surgeries. I would say, I think definitely over 5. It's just 5
surgeries.
Yeah, because if we include the debridements that they have removed
over the course of what, 2 years?
Yeah, well, no, 1 year. We just made 1 year in December 2nd, 2022.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah,
that must be expensive.
Yeah, in New York, it definitely cost me a lot of money. They charged me over $60,000 and stuff in medical debt.
That's crazy.
Yeah, literally. Thankfully, Dr. Truesdale, he the doctor I met in California, he agreed to do a pro bono. So
that's so nice.
Yeah, he's literally such a sweetheart. Like, and so
was that your most recent?
Yeah, my most recent was with him and stuff. So, and he's great. Like, he's very sweet. He's also like a black surgeon too. So I felt like perfectly represented, because first thing I brought up with him is like keloids, and so he prioritized the possibility of that and how to prevent it. So
that's amazing.
That.
So the state isn't doing anything. The hospitals, or I guess the medical system, is not even helpful, because now you have to pay all these bills. Yeah. And then this criminal is in jail. They have no assets.
Yeah, literally.
The MTA can't sue them.
Even the family member who took the person in, like the criminal in, like I asked them if I asked the DA if there's any way to get them to be held accountable, and they were like no, because they would basically have to prove that he knew that she was an accomplice. And I'm like, it was all over the news that this person, like, I just, like, I don't know, but it's like, it's so many. This is why I don't do law. This is why I'm definitely medical, because it's too much with that, and it's like, it's no justice. So.
No, that's crazy. Like, first off, our medical system isn't like the fact that we have to pay so much is insane. Like in Europe, people have like $20 copays. I'm just like, how are we even, like, Canada is doing way better than us. Like, how are we even
like,
why are we
functioning.
here? Like, why are we here? One, and then two, is there a way you can get that, like, paid for?
I don't
by
know.
the government, the MTA. Like, someone needs to be
paying all of these things. Like, and I really hope that I could find a way, but like I couldn't. Like, I was denied from so much. Like, I was denied from workers' comp because like I was 2 blocks away from my job when it happened, as opposed to being like physically on my job. So they didn't pay anything. Then even like New York Disability and SSI, like they denied me.
and
SNAP
and we
denied
freaking
me.
pay for those taxes.
And we pay, yes, literally. And it's like,
insane.
like, because they basically feel like I'm mentally capable of going to
How
going
do they
to work.
know?
And that's my point. Because it's like, if you had a scar on your face, you wouldn't be mentally capable of going to work, like, at any point. Like, and it's like, it's annoying because even in medical, everybody, if you work in medical, you know that everybody you work with, they swear they're doctors. And so everybody, and then along with the doctors, everybody always want to ask, oh, are you using this, are you doing this, are you doing that, are you doing, like, and it's overwhelming. Nobody want to deal with that, like, on a daily basis, you know. So yeah, I'm not doing that. But that's what it was very annoying, being denied from all of these people.
That's so unfair. First off, something happens to you, and then you have all this debt, and then you're still in school. You have to testify at some point. For
and I told them that they just kind of have to wait until I graduate, because I'm not doing both at the same time.
Do it on your time.
Yeah,
don't do it on her time.
Exactly.
She can wait.
Literally, like, and they had, because the lawyer was like, her lawyer had another case or whatever, so he had to wait a while. So I'm like, yeah, no, now y'all definitely need to wait. Like, we a whole year over. Like, y'all not finna just bum rush me to get this done before my graduation.
Are you paying your lawyers?
Well, it's all over the place. I got a bill to my apartment, but
oh my god,
yeah, I did. Yeah, exactly. Like, but the one for that case, like with the main like getting her arrested, I don't have to pay, because that's like New York apparently, because that's the New York DA. But when it came to me trying to build the case with the MTA and stuff, those are like bills that I did get that I have to pay eventually.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's literally beyond me.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. Oh my goodness. Okay, so with all, you know, this entire thing, how have you been, like, have you been thinking of like the future? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I'll definitely see myself in medical school. So, but I don't know which year in medical school. Yeah, I don't know. Like, but I'll definitely be there at some point. Before then, I do feel like I'll be a lot more. Well, mentally, I feel like I'll be a lot more, like, happier as well, because it'll be just some times past. Like, I'm sure by then I'll know the verdict of, like, you know, how the trial went too. So that'll put my heart at ease as well. And yeah, I feel like that is where I see myself in 5 years, like, and just being a well-known, like, advocate for trauma patients in general and stuff, like, even if it came to education or just like everyday living, just something like that.
No, but your story is so powerful.
Thank you.
I honestly want to see this law happen.
Thank you. Me too.
Like, even if she gets out in 10 years, she needs to just be incapable of doing this again.
Yeah, I agree.
10 years is such a short time.
It is.
Do you have any fears that this person could come back and do something different, like a knife crime? You know,
yeah,
gun,
I feel like when it comes to me, and probably not, because I don't even feel like I would be in New York in 10 years, but I do have fears that she would come back and do it to another young lady, and that's something that I don't want to happen. And so I am, like, trying to get her to be, like, you know, arrested for a long period, like, literally, like, but it's like, I just, like, that would hurt my heart. Like, even if I'm across, I don't even care if I'm across the country. If I was to read in the newspaper, like, that she got another victim, like, all of these years later, like, I'm coming back to New York, and I will be sitting down with whoever's the mayor, and I don't even care. I'm calling the president, because that's crazy. Like, literally, I would be so annoyed, because it's like, okay, like, y'all let this young lady out to do more damage to our public. Yeah, so I would definitely hate that. But that is a fear of mine. Like,
And you mentioned speaking with other victims.
Yeah, so there's a lot of victims that was like reaching out to me through TikTok, like ever since I started posting about the assault and stuff. And I appreciate everybody too who was like reaching out and stuff, and even telling their own stories, even people who just dealt with like random like burn assaults and stuff. But a lot of like acid attacks, definitely. Like what I realized is every person who reached out to me is definitely a young black woman. Like I don't know, I don't know what correlation that has, but it's always young black woman. Or
was this criminal black?
Sorry, what you said?
Was the criminal black?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's crazy because like a lot of the stories that I've read, like it's either like, you know, their boyfriend's girlfriend, or it's like their like cousin, or like just it's always
people they know.
Yes, it's always people they know. So that's why people have been so heartbroken when they found out that it was somebody that I didn't know. But then there's one other girl, like I don't want to tell her story, but her name is Nafia, and anybody could like look her up and stuff. And she was the first person to reach out to me. She said her friend had sent her my TikTok, and this was like when it first happened, and me and her have been in contact ever since. And basically like hers was also an unknown, like unprovoked assault too. Like she just was on her way to work, also in the medical field. Both of us was 21 years old. Like so many consistencies in our stories and stuff. And as she's on her way to work, then some guy came out of a car, threw the acid on her, went back in the car and drove off. Yeah, she suffered so many burns, and like even to this day, you know, like me and her speak and stuff like that, and we speak about it. And yeah, it just was like it was definitely heartbreaking when she told me her story too. And so we had a lot to, you know, be like to talk about bond over. Yeah. And so we always are like checking in with each other's mental health, trying to make sure everything is okay outside of it. And I told her I am going to definitely try to like, you know, post about her like assault on my page as well, since I'm like, you know, spreading awareness and stuff. And yeah, and especially because her assaulter still hasn't been caught, and it was a guy, so it wasn't the same person as mine, but he still hasn't been caught. He's still out there. Yeah, he's still out there. Yeah, literally. So that's why.
That's so scary.
Terrifying.
Not only for her, but just for
like anybody,
everyone. Like it's insane.
And so and she definitely does tell me like how, like she feels like, you know, that does take a toll on her mental health, that he could still be out there and stuff. And I'm like, you know, like best way to think about it, like when I was telling her, I'm like, you know, either he's dead, somebody killed him, or he did that to the wrong person and he died, or like or he is like literally like just chilling. And even if he is chilling, it's like he can't be comfortable though. Like he has to look over his shoulder. He definitely, I was like, just as much as she's thinking about it, he's thinking about it. Like, and it's mostly like that when people who do crimes anyway, like they try to act like they're not thinking about it, they end up going crazy because you done did so much bad in your life, like, and you're going straight to hell for all of it. Like, straight to hell. Like
express ticket.
First class.
Like,
exactly.
No, it's insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you mentioned you were dating at the time when this happened.
Yeah, I was dating my ex, and we were in a really good like relationship for the whole year. I recently broke up with him though, because I just felt like mentally we didn't see eye to eye and stuff. And I felt like, you know, sometimes when people don't have like the capability to like express their own emotions, it rubs off on you. And that wasn't fair to me, I felt like, because it's like, you know, like I'm going through a traumatic event. I understand that you do have your own traumas and things that you've been through and stuff, but like we gotta help each other. And it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. But there was no love loss. It wasn't anything crazy like, you know, like I cheated or he cheated or anything like that. It just wasn't working, and it was like very overwhelming. And
could you deal with, because I'm thinking I go through that, I need so much space to just stay alive, like to just like function. So how was it dealing with the relationship? It
was like it was definitely like a blanket for me, honestly. Like I would say he was very like, it was very something I was comfortable with being around and stuff like that in general. So it was definitely comfortable, but it just like I still had to walk away because of the fact that it was like a blanket for but so long, because it's like then there's certain parts that's tearing basically. I guess, like, for example, like if I'm like, I kind of became a little dependent on him to kind of call me pretty and stuff like that, and it wasn't as frequent as I would have wanted, I guess. And then even his dependency on me to kind of brush my feelings under the rug and just be okay, and it's not, that wasn't fair to me either. So it was like we both just wasn't being fair or realistic with each other. And I understood, because it's like he never dealt with trauma for somebody else, and I've never dealt with having to express my trauma, because I've always been independent, always been, you know, on some like, you know, like it's cool, like I got this and stuff. But this was something that I didn't have control over. I didn't really understand my emotions, and so it was like I can't make room to understand yours either. So yeah, I had to like walk away from that and prioritize myself. And ever since then, it feels like not to say it like that, but it kind of feels like a weight off my shoulders too. And I guess that's another aspect when it comes to a blanket, because, you know, he was a blanket, but a weighted blanket, kind of, if you like see what I'm saying. And so I am glad that we ended on good terms too. Like, it was amicable. It just wasn't for both of us. So
well, I'm glad you're in this space where you're like optimistic about things, and you're obviously, I feel like mental health is always a work in progress, because even though it's not visibly a handicap, it just is for everyone. Like, dealing with things emotionally and mentally, psychologically, is extremely difficult, and most people, most institutions, you know, your job or whatever, most people just don't get it. And it's just insane to think that your school told you to basically get over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's crazy.
It is. And that's why they definitely, like, I do want to start advocating for that too, because I feel like mental health, even for students, is so important. Like, we all go to classes and stuff, but if it was just the schoolwork that we had to deal with, most of us would be getting A's. Most of us would be excelling in all of our things, especially if it's something we're passionate about. But it's so everything much. Literally
aid, get the loan, freaking
everything,
network, because you also have to like no, it's too much.
Then it's the professors,
the group projects with the stupid like classmates, like
and you just have a lot going on, and it's like they got to be understanding to that and stuff like that. Like, I wouldn't say, like, obviously, like, don't just let people like miss deadlines and stuff, but be understanding with your students. Like, I feel like you saying, like, you know, my mental health isn't there today should be enough for you to not be able to, like, I mean, you don't have to be forced to go to a class that's not important either. Like, it's stuff like that
even though it's true that a lot of people just use that as an excuse, and they're the problem, because
they are,
because then we're not taken seriously. But then when you have like your experience, like what happened to you, to like back it up, it's like no question, you should take your time, do things your own way, and that's unfair. That's so unfair.
Exactly. Like, and they, like, it's just annoying that they don't have the accommodations, because it feels like I have to like fight 10 times harder for my degree than a person that don't have a disability, which is insane. Like, I don't need it to be easier, but at least, you know, equal, like, at least something like that. But I shouldn't have to jump through hurdles and hoops to prove that not only is it that, yes, I've been assaulted, but also like that this is traumatic, and also that it has an effect on my mental health. And then, you know, and like, that's a lot to prove when I'm already in therapy. Like, that's not enough. Like,
and you're having to pay for that. It's just insane to me.
Thankfully, I don't think I have to pay for that. I haven't had any bills as of yet. But hopefully not. I think that's because it's like an adolescent center that I go to and stuff, and usually those are funded, but like from just the New York State in general. But eventually they do give bills, so hopefully.
Like, do you think you're gonna get justice?
I don't. But what you gonna ask us in that?
No, sorry. Like, what does justice look like for you?
I would say, I don't think I'm gonna get justice, because I feel like for me, justice would be like, not only is it like her getting the amount of years that's right for, like, that she should get. Like, I would definitely say like 25 years minimum, definitely, like, minimum, because it's like in 25 years
time
I'm still
to reflect.
Yes, like, exactly. Like, and that's not gonna be that like, it's still not that many years, 25 years, because it's still gonna be something that comes up. Like, I'm at that point, I'm gonna be telling my children about it. Like, that's how much that's gonna be in my future and stuff. So I feel like that would be one, but then two, also, like, justice would be like that this doesn't, like, it's a way to prevent this from happening for other young people in general, like, where it's like it will be cameras on the train stations, or there will be, you know, just at least a person there, like, for safety in general in the train stations. Like, it should be, especially at the times, like, I understand that police are scared to be in the train stations at certain times, but it's like they should, exactly,
that's
like,
their job.
That exactly, like y'all job are protection. What? Exactly, like, y'all need to be there during the times where the attacking is common. Like, why y'all in the train station at 8:00 in the morning? Nobody's doing, like, I mean, there may be crimes at 8:00 in the morning, but I strongly doubt it's as common as it being at
1 a.m.
1 a.m. Yeah, like, so yeah.
So you think you're not getting justice?
Yeah,
I don't think so, honestly.
Yeah,
no, I don't think you're not gonna get
okay.
I do think it's possible.
Okay,
if you rally up a group of women, turn it into a class action,
I agree,
then you got something.
And that is exactly what I'm, like, going for too, because I do want, like, a class action. Like, it has to be something, like, something that we could do to prevent something like this. Like, it's too much that goes on, like.
And then finding lawyers who are willing to sue the MTA, because honestly, a giant only seems like a giant until they're not. Like,
right, exactly. I
really think a class action could be the best thing, and it could be cheaper, I guess, because it's, like, spread, you know. But also, this could be pro bono, because this is huge. Because this could turn into having to pass that law for acid. Exactly. And regulating,
like, buying it. Like, it should not be a over the counter anything.
It should not.
Like,
that's so scary. Of course that person is in jail, but then what happens to
other people? And I've seen, like, I've even seen on Facebook, like, somebody had posted, like, like, that they carry acid around too and stuff now. And it's like, if people are sick, it's like they definitely read the assault and was like, oh, that's smart, let me get that. So it's like, crazy. Now you got to be, like, scared that people are like, okay, they got acid in their bag. That's crazy.
It's insane. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe for, like, self-defense, but still. Still,
because it's like, why? Like, even I be saying that, like, it's just like, why acid, though?
You know what's crazy? I think tasers are illegal in New York.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say that too. Like, you know, why not a taser or even a knife? Like,
no, but the thing is, can you imagine a taser being illegal but not acid?
But not acid, right? Okay, now I see what you're saying.
That's crazy.
That really is insane. Like,
because I know a lot of people carry, like, there's, like, this tiny taser thing. Where if you, like, click on it, it turns into this, like, huge thing. It, like, ejects on the person trying to, like, assault you.
That's literally crazy.
That's for self-defense, and it's illegal. But then, like, the thing that's gonna harm you is legal. Like, something that could literally damage your life for the rest of your life. Like, it's insane. No, it makes when you put it like that, though. It makes no sense. I was just thinking about this.
I didn't realize that. Even knives, like, you have to have a certain size of a knife. Like, it can't go over, like, the size of your middle finger, I believe. Or I don't know if it's actual inches, but like, I know it's over a certain size, and you can't, like, you know, walk around with that. And it's like, but that I would understand, like, walking around with a knife in New York, understandable. Gun is crazy because it's already illegal. Like, gun is so crazy. And people in my comments was saying that, like, oh, you should have had a gun. In the state of New York, that's one.
They said you should have had a gun?
Yes, I should have had a gun, And I'm like, yo, two, like, what? I'm literally a healthcare worker. Like, I'm taking care of patients. I don't think people understand the type of heart that I have. Like, even if I did have a gun, why would I use it on somebody that's just yelling? Like, she just has, like, let's really put it in perspective. She just was there yelling at other people, and then she got off the train behind me. There's no altercation. I'm just going to be like, oh, you made me feel uncomfortable. Boom. Shoot you. Like, that's crazy. Like,
and the next thing you know, you use the gun, and then you're in jail.
I'm in jail.
And then they probably wouldn't even take your argument that it was for self-defense.
Yes, like, at all.
Because they don't even consider acid a weapon anyway.
Right, exactly. And there's no cameras in the train station to see anything. So it's like, Like, it's like, that's why I feel like I handled the situation a lot more better than people would have in general. Like, when people do say that, oh, I would have, I just don't pay mind in that either, because
no, you shouldn't.
Yeah, like,
you literally don't know until it's you.
Like, and then it's like, people be like, oh, I would have for or whatever, but it's like, she had little assets, so she would have threw the rest of the bottle on you.
Yeah,
The rest of your face would have been messed up. Your eyes definitely would have been like messed up. Then they be like, oh, I would have threw her in the train tracks. If you're from New York, no, literally. And it's like, if you're from New York, you know that, like I said, the top of the train steps is nowhere near the train tracks. Right. So it's like, what? God. What I'm supposed to do? She gonna throw it at me, and I'm like, bring you down. Like, it's so unreal. I'm just like,
oh my gosh, like, that's insane. That's insane.
I just be weak though. Like, definitely laughing at people and they're like, their thoughts of possibilities. I'm like, yo, people are sick. People are really sick.
So moving forward, do you have, because you have PTSD obviously, and you mentioned, like, what is it? Is it like just people
like
suddenly
walking?
moving?
Yeah, like any sudden movements is definitely like uneasy to me. People also like walking. Like, if they walking by me and they got their hands in their pockets, that's terrifying. Even though it's like winter, so it's like, it's annoying because it's like everybody has their hands in their. Even I be having my hands in my pockets, but it's like I don't have no bad intentions and stuff. But still, like, even people who just look scary. Some people do just have that scary look. Yeah, it's like, that definitely makes my stomach hurt. Like,
you know what it makes me? It makes me think of, there's a TikTok debate right now about, like, hood people. Where, like, it's like, people are like, I'm scared. Whereas black people are like, I'm scared of hood people.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yes, it's like, oh, they're like, I'm afraid to say this as a black person.
Yeah, because it's like, because a lot of people are like, automatically, if you're black, you're hood, but like, that's not it.
Yeah.
Like, and or they're like, oh, if you're broke, you're hood. That's not it.
Yeah,
you
right,
can live
like,
in the hood crazy. And not be hood.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
you can be broke and not be, like, being hood is just being just
a certain
savage in the most abnormal way possible. Like, it's just unnecessary.
Yeah, like,
and like,
yes, and unnecessary, like anything unnecessary, any unnecessary movements, literally, anything like that makes
hood.
me.
Whether you're black, Hispanic, white, Asian, doesn't matter. You can be hood. So but no, it makes me think of that because the news, there's always something on the subway. Like, literally, I think it was yesterday, some guy pushed a girl down the stairs. She lost her leg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
and then something else, someone got like pushed on the tracks. Like, there's always something.
Yeah, literally.
And for them to say they're not responsible
for people's safety is crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
Do you take the subway?
I only take it if I like I only took it to class and stuff like that, but like after taking it for a few, it just made me feel uneasy. So I'm just like, like I'm not doing that. So I take Ubers like everywhere, which definitely is very so costly. Yeah. But it's like, even Accessoride, the Accessoride is supposed to be like, if you have any mental or physical incapabilities, then they're supposed to drive you everywhere. Is that like the free
transportation from school to?
Basically like that, yeah. And it's still like $275, so you still have to pay for like as if I'm $290 as if I'm taking the train and stuff. It's just a ride. They denied me too because they said they feel like I'm mentally fit.
That's crazy.
Like, I'm just like I just don't get it. So
I feel like when it comes to mental health, they expect you
to just be okay.
No, they expect you to look crazy.
Yeah,
they actually expect
that
you.
Too.
They want you to be schizophrenic.
Yeah, and this is the like. Thank you for saying that, because this is exactly the narrative I'm trying to change. Because it's like I have mental incapabilities, but they don't like. That's not written across my whole body. Like, I'm still able to go have fun, and then I still will come home and be depressed. Like, that's just how life is, and people gotta understand, like, I don't want to be sad all day, but I am sad. So let's be realistic that these are certain things that's like I can't keep, like, allowing stuff like that. Like, so I agree with that.
No,
they need it.
It's really insane.
It is, like. And heavy on that, like, they definitely do need you to be like schizophrenic for it to be, or delirium in general, for it to be qualified, and that's not fair. Like, PTSD should be fine as is.
Or they want you to be like suicidal.
Yeah,
like they actually, I don't know if they care, because it's like they want you to like borderline be like almost take your life away before they're like, maybe it's real.
No, like let's give her some days off work. See how that does. Like, what? Like, they're insane, and it's like, nah.
So you're taking the subway. I mean, you're taking Ubers.
Yeah, taking Ubers, trying to get a car.
Way too often. It's costly. You know, the crazy thing is, I think in Europe they provide like transportation.
Oh.
For like people with disabilities for free. Like you don't even have to pay.
That's so perfect. Like, see.
We're just so behind.
We are.
It's like, why are we here, I guess?
Because they be worried about everything else besides the wellness necessary, of... Yeah. Like...
No. So, I can't imagine. Are you paying back the hospital bill?
No. I haven't started paying that back yet because I'm it's just too much, like, too many other bills, because even me taking care of myself, like, so even my rent and stuff, I'm like, like, I definitely got to prioritize that so I have a place to stay, because that's another thing, like, they don't even have no accommodations for things like that, like, if it's, like, I'm being that I was just assaulted and stuff, like, it was nothing, no way for me to pay my bills immediately if I didn't have money saved, like, it was no way for, like, I would have, if I didn't have money saved, I would have got kicked out, like, in no time, so.
That's crazy.
It was insane.
Wow.
Like, and I only had money saved because I was supposed to be going on a trip. Like, exactly. Wow. Like, it was so annoying.
At least you had money saved.
Yeah, at least that. Thank God. Like, literally, thank God.
I can't imagine what would have happened.
Yeah, me either. Like,
because honestly, I think being forced to work right after that
is crazy.
Your mental health probably would have been
like all over the place.
Yeah.
Even now, like all the surgeries that I'm having, all the procedures and doctor's appointments, like I absolutely cannot go back to work and like then also have a whole bandage on my face the next week. Like that's just too much.
Are your procedures in New York?
No, they're in California.
Cali? Ooh, so you fly back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
How is that? Do you feel safe flying?
I do. I honestly love flying. Yeah. Like I feel like flying is more like comfortable than even driving or something like that. Yeah.
It's the safest.
Yeah, it's so safe. Like they got all of those like protocols and stuff. People just get in their car and drive. Don't even put the seatbelt on. Like
seriously.
It's insane. So yeah, but I really do love I love flying, and when I got out there, like my family lives out there, like my aunts, and they're like my mom's cousins, so technically like my second cousins. Or I don't even know how that works, but
yeah, I know your aunts.
Yeah, my aunts. Yeah, so they as soon as we get out there, we just kind of go to their house and we have a good time. So,
do you pay for your flights?
Yeah, we pay for our flights and stuff, and like all of our food out there, but. That's like the only thing I had to pay when it came to the Cali doctor. Oh, and like anesthesia in the operating room. So that came out to about like $3,500, but that was way better than that $40,000 or however much he was gonna charge me for it, because I already know like that it was gonna be a lot. So
did you choose him because of the pro bono?
No, honestly, what's so crazy is that I had reached out to him because he was on my Instagram. He just randomly was on my Instagram reels, and so I had reached out and kind of explained my situation. But I originally was going to just like kind of ask for information because I didn't think I was gonna go to Cali to do like a surgery. Like I'm just like I'm just gonna bring it back to my New York surgeons and stuff. But after explaining like everything to him and stuff, he just seemed so confident in the surgery, and I appreciated that because it's like these surgeons out here are not. Like all I asked them was like I just wanted my lip to be lowered, and they were like, yeah, like I don't think we could do that for you. And you see my lip is literally lowered from Dr. Truth there, like so it's like because it was all the way up here, like, and it's like it's just certain things that they didn't have plans for. They kind of just wanted to, it felt do like they just patch? They just wanted to be on it because it's like it was a big case, so it's like Jacoby doctors, I burn ICU did this so I was like no. But when I met Dr. Truesdale, he genuinely had my best interest at heart, like genuinely 1,002%. And so then after I explained everything, then he's like, okay, you know what, like he's like, I'll just do it like pro bono and stuff. Me and my mom just crying on the phone and stuff because it's like, what? So nice. Yeah, it's so nice. So like, because I was already fully on board with everything he was saying anyway. Like, I had a full list to tell my New York doctors, but as soon as he agreed, I'm like, oh, even better. Like, with somebody that I could genuinely trust is a lot better.
That's
like,
amazing. So how much work did they have to do? Like, what changed on your face?
So basically, this whole area was like, it had a third degree burn, so the tissue was like completely damaged and stuff. And so what they had did was basically he made an incision like from like from this whole thing right here. He made this whole incision, kind of separated my nose and from my cheek, and separated my like lip from my cheek.
What do you mean separated?
Because it was together. So it was, yeah, it was like literally
Oh
like
my God.
like the acid basically like made it so damaged that it all just was one like thick thing. And so basically,
there's no way.
Yeah,
There's
like,
literally no way, because you can't see it.
Thank you so much.
There's no
like,
way. Honestly,
it was so
what?
like it was annoying, and it would be random painful sensations too. Like I felt like it was like my nerves kind of trying to like make a comeback. That's how I would explain it to the surgeons and stuff, and they were like that is definitely possible. And so
where was the pain, like on
just this whole area, like my whole cheek basically like would be in pain and stuff like that. It was kind of just like as thick as this is, because he didn't do this part yet, and what he has planned for that, he's just gonna take it out and then just put a line like and sew it. So, and I'm fully on board with that too, but it was kind of like just that thick, just all this whole area and stuff, and it was all like connected into one. Yeah. And so what he explained was like basically like your nose is supposed to be one subunit, your lips is another subunit, and then your cheek is another subunit, and all of it was one subunit when before the surgery. So yeah, I really did appreciate that a ton.
And then could you breathe? Could you like eat?
I could. Eating was hard though, because it was like painful, and I was like my like lips and stuff. So, but this was before the surgery too. This was like when it first was healing and stuff. It like it was so hard to eat like thick foods like tacos. Like I couldn't really open my mouth as big to like eat a taco or something like that. So that was annoying because I love tacos. And then talking was like it like I had a slur. I started to pick up and having a slur, which was very annoying to me too, because I like to speak and
articulate.
have exactly, I'm very articulate, so I was not a fan of that. Like then but yeah, that's basically how that was. But after the surgery, like after waking up from Dr. Truesdale surgery, I was able to talk and eat and whatever. Like like I was surprised. I thought it was gonna take me a few days, but yeah, no, that same day I was out here. I was literally eating tacos, like literally.
That's great. I'm so surprised your eye wasn't like impacted.
Yeah, me too.
It
like
wasn't
thank
swollen,
God.
like nothing.
Yeah, no. Well, after the surgery, it was swollen a lot. Like it was like huge, but it was because like he did do the incision right under and stuff. But he did say thankfully that the reason why he had pulled the whole cheek over, and then like he brought like a piece of my shoulder.
He pulled the cheek over.
Yeah, I know this sounds so crazy. So what he had did was he cut that part out of the damaged skin, and then he like pulled the cheek like this way and going like this way.
Wow.
And then he took a piece of my shoulder like and put it like in my ear. Sorry. Like over here. And so he had did that so that it's not too much tension, like pulling it back towards my ear and stuff, because he said if it is that much tension, then my eye would also be pulling down too.
Wow.
Yeah, like he like did this like it was a puzzle. Like he's great. Like he clearly knows what he's doing. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you found him, though. How did you find him?
Just on Instagram, scrolling through it.
Yes. I love Instagram.
Literally, I love Instagram, too. I was just scrolling through Instagram Reels, and I saw he was doing somebody's, like, nose surgery. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, this is good. Yeah, and I'm like, I need no surgery. Then that's when I go to his page. He's a black doctor. I'm like, a black doctor, black patient. Right. And then I'm seeing he got a whole bunch of other black patients. I'm like, oh, yeah. Just the person I'm looking for.
That's amazing.
Like, yeah.
Wow. So how did your New York team take it?
Honestly, what's so crazy is that I haven't spoke to them in a minute, because this should tell exactly how unorganized they are. We had spoke somewhere in the summer, I would say like August, and basically they were like, yeah, like they would be like down to do my surgery and stuff in like December. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm definitely like fully on board. This was before I had met Dr. Truesdale and stuff. So I'm like, I'm fully on board with it or whatever. Just to let me know basically, because they were like that they had to like I've never met the surgeon that actually did my surgery. Even the first couple times that I was in New York with the surgery and stuff, never met the surgeon. And so they were like that basically they're going to contact him, see his schedule, and they're going to call me back in December to get it done and stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like just please let me know, because I have school and like in the spring, so I can't do it after January. They're like, okay, yeah, definitely. Like they'll let me know we had like December 7th, like literally it was like just sick. So then that's when during that time, no, I didn't hear from them, nothing. Like I called again, they're like, oh yeah, like they'll let me know, keep me updated. Still didn't hear from them. That's when I finally met Dr. Truesdale on that random day, spoke with him. I literally went out to physically meet him in December, great session, and that's when I came back in January 22nd to do my surgery, got it done. February, then the New York people, they called me like, yeah, so are you ready to do your surgery?
That's crazy.
Literally, I'm like 2 months after I'm already literally starting school. Like, if I had waited on y'all, I would have been so annoyed, like so annoyed. So I'm like, yeah, no thank you. I'm actually really good off that. Yeah.
And then during that time, before the surgery in California, how were you like able to move your face, breathe, and everything? I was definitely able to like move my face and breathe. It just was like just really tight in that area. And so it just was annoying because I just felt that I just didn't feel like comfortable. I just was like eager, like yearning to get this surgery done and stuff, like because I just knew it was like the start of my process. So I'm like, oh thank God, like I do want to just start it, get it out the way and stuff. So how many do you have left?
I'm not sure. I believe that I may have two major ones left, and then like I think they said like if there was anything like cosmetically that I would want to change, but like I think like as long as it's like, you know, cool, I think I'm cool. Like but I definitely like the next one, I know he did say he wanted to take out this. He just didn't do it at the same time because my artery, like my blood vessel in my face or whatever was damaged from the acid as well. Like that's how deep it went. And so being that it damaged my blood vessel, that's why like my lip was scrunched up and my nose was like disintegrated and stuff. And that was why, because it just because it just was like completely damaged, like from one side to the other. Like it didn't melt, it just was damaged, like completely like dead skin, like decayed basically, like completely dead skin. And that's why during that major surgery in New York, like they had to remove the rest of the nostril, and I had like literally just a piece. They removed
the rest of the nostril?
Yeah, they removed it.
What do you mean?
Like they
sorry,
no, it's okay. They like picture. I know, right? Like they like basically that's what gagged me, because they said that there was a possibility that my nose would be damaged, but when I woke up, it was completely gone.
Oh my God!
I was like, trauma. Wait, what?
Yeah, the trauma, like mentally,
like literally, it was completely gone.
Is that even allowed? Like they didn't ask for permission.
Exactly, like, but basically that's what they were saying. It just was completely done, like, and even when I saw it, it was black. Like my nostril completely was black. So basically, like, it just means that it had no blood supply getting to it and stuff. And that was because the vessel was completely done. So when they basically when I did the surgery, they just removed it from like it was just pure cartilage exposed, basically. Like cartilage is the one that's like inside, and so it was just like exposed. They had to like kind of cover it up with like some type of like clear bandage. Then they had a whole nother white bandage. I was over here looking like Spider-Man for a week, like literally. And then they took it off next week, and then when they took it off, that's when I realized my nostril is gone. I'm like, wait, hold on, who do I speak to about this? Like literally. But I got it though. I understood, because it's like, it was, they said that basically if they would have kept it there, that like kind of just like hair, you know how like with hair, like if you have damaged hair, exactly, like, so they just would have damaged the rest of it and stuff. So I was like, this is crazy.
Wow. Yeah, it's such an insane thing like to experience.
Yeah, I agree, like,
but you're so like strong.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I wonder if this made you stronger, or if you were already this solid before, because it's like, no, it's
I would say it definitely did make me stronger. I felt like and that was one of the things that it kind of taught me, because at first I felt like I was a very strong person, like I felt like of course there was things that could make me stronger, but I felt like I was just a very well put together, mature person. But ever since this all happened, and it was like I had so much to learn about myself, like intellectually, like I had to stop depending on people outside and just kind of really bring out the inside me, like my inside voice and all of that stuff, and realize like how certain things feel. Because that's one thing too, like when it comes to my own feelings, I am quick to put it under the rug. I am quick to just be like, all right, you know what, Yola, like let me just do this instead. So like this is for the first time ever I had to really deal with my emotions and learn to, you know, move past them and not really care about what the outside noise says and stuff like that. So, and yeah, it definitely did make me like stronger today.
And I think I asked this earlier about like how you deal with people asking, but specifically, how do you create the boundary?
It took me a while because it was like I was always like a people pleaser, so it was like I don't know, like I was like I didn't know what to say or something like that, and I would always find myself explaining what, like, oversharing and stuff like that because people ask. But so after a while, it was like I just kind of had to build up like the energy to just say, like, you know, I don't feel comfortable explaining this, like this is not something that I want to talk about at the moment, and like, you know, and then they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, like, or just certain situations like that, and then I just walk away. Like, but at like my people pleaser side would be like, you know, like once people are apologizing, it's like, okay, I'll just tell you since, you know, you're apologizing and stuff. But it's like, nah, like I had to really stand on the fact that no, like this person is not entitled to my trauma, like, and nobody is. Like, I'm not even entitled to my own trauma. Like, I didn't need that. So it was like, yeah, like I don't need to explain to people and stuff. So I had to definitely work up that boundary, even when it comes to families too, like my family too. Like I had to work up a boundary of certain situations I didn't want to talk about when it came to them too, like even if it's like scenarios or just any type of like trauma that's going around in New York. Like if it's something that was like another assault that happened and stuff, and they're like, oh look, Juanita, like this has all happened too and stuff, and it's like, this is not something I want to talk about. I don't want to be comparing things like that. So that's
too much.
Yeah, it's just too much. Yeah, like literally, especially if it's in the same area or if it's an area that I'm like I live in or something like that. It's like I don't want to talk about that. So yeah, setting those boundaries took a minute, but I was able to do that.
Wow.
Thank you.
I think I'll forever be in awe.
I feel
honestly.
You. Same.
And I really hope to witness the new law on acid. I hope to witness this person in jail for the next 25 years.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hope you can get more women to come together and talk about their assaults. I truly think a class action lawsuit could change everything.
Yeah,
and not just for you guys as a collective, but also for like just all women in New York, possibly all women in the U.S.
Yeah, literally.
It's amazing that you're able to like be optimistic, just like move forward and use this experience to just keep going.
Thank you.
Have a purpose and all that. But I need a resolution. Like this is like unfinished business, you know? So I really hope it happens, and it makes no sense that no one is responsible.
Yeah, literally, and it kind of just falls on me, like to handle the responsibility, and that's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair at all. Not fair at all. No, I don't know, because just thinking about this happened a year and a half ago.
Well, almost a year and a half. Yeah,
almost a year and a half. When you talk to the other like survivors, do you feel like they were able to move forward?
A lot of them I speak to, I do feel like they were able to move forward and stuff like that. But I could tell that it does have a hindrance on their like lives, like mentally and even personally, emotionally, and so it's like but they still give me strength, because it's like the fact that y'all, like I see certain people just doing what they got to do regardless, and taking care of their children, or even like, you know, also the other girl, that the Nafia, who she was a student, she's also still in school too. So it's like, you know, we still push forward, and I love that about us, because it's like, y'all showing me stuff. As long as like as much as they come to me saying how much like they learn from me, I still learn from them too. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, so you're graduating this year?
Yeah, in May.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
And then possibly medical school?
Yeah, definitely. It's just no time soon. I think I'm gonna take some time to just travel and, you know, enjoy life before I even apply to med school. Yeah.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Honestly, most of us don't deserve traveling.
I know, right?
But you deserve it.
Thank you.
Is there any last comments, anything you want to share for the people watching?
Thank you so much for watching. I had a lovely time.
I had an amazing time. I'm so honored, honestly.
Oh, so
again, I'm so honored that you came on the show and that you were so open and willing to share your experience.
Thank you.
I'm like truly hoping to follow your journey and like to have a conclusion.
No, right?
In the next like year or so. Like, let's not wait 10 years. Like, let's like seriously, because things take forever in this country. Yeah, sorry, I'm keeping.
No, it's okay. No.
No, I feel you. I'm exhausted too.
No, sorry.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
This is in the middle of That's Us.
Oh, okay.
You're good. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
And again, like, Juanita, thank you so much.
Of course.
Do you want to share your social media?
Oh yeah. So you guys can follow me on IG or TikTok. I'm also starting a YouTube. It's Juanita.dgaf. Yeah.